in Jacksonville. SEC refs have been a topic of conversation, and we've seen that, and we've done that. And guess what? It continued to be. There was a lot in this one that was very strange. 3 very, very questionable reviews, like that I think, honestly, you kind of go with the one on the field that goes with stands or upheld nowadays of what it is. But late down the stretch, Georgia does what Georgia does. And what came to mind was Mortal Kombat. It was literally like, finish him. Right? Like that's what they were going to do at some point. Georgia wins 24-20, 5th straight Georgia-Florida win. Kirby continues to do really well against everybody that's a rival or everybody he plays, not named Alabama. But I thought, when you watch this football game, Georgia's defense versus Florida's offense, Florida did a really good job. I like what Florida did offensively, because when you watch DJ Lagway, it's never about talent. Never. Never once have you gone, man, that dude's not very talented. He could run. He could spin the football. We've seen him play really well with deep balls. But to me, it was this year, it was Billy Napier wanted to be in the perfect call. And they wanted to shift in motion. They wanted to maximize, a whole offense. Billy Gonzalez and company looked like it was like this. Let's simplify this. Less shifts, less motions. Let's run more max protection, like keep more guys in, make it 2-man routes, read half the field, take off and run. Like, I think they did a good job, but I also think Georgia's defense played really, really well. And Florida had opportunity late in the football game. And, in the first half, I think the first half, it was kind of back and forth. Georgia started off good. Florida came back and tied it. Going into half, it looked like it was going to be 10-7. And then the mistake really that happened, there was a couple mistakes, and both were on Georgia. You don't see Georgia's punter not kick the ball really well. For the first score for Florida, bad 20-yard kick. They score like within the next 2 plays. And then the interception by Gunnar Stockton right off Noah Thomas's hands, literally right off of him. So, Georgia uncharacteristically making a couple mistakes in the first half, and then Bolden, their best defensive player in the secondary, gets a targeting call, and you're like, holy cow, like this might be a game. And it's amazing to watch Bowens. It's amazing to watch Frazier. These guys, and Cass Jones is going to rotate in. You've seen McCray in short yardage, but like Georgia's run game when they need it this season has been really good outside the Alabama loss on the 4th and 1. But, Gunnar Stockton in a moment, they needed a play. They're trailing by 3. They go down the field. And here's one thing, and Brent, I want you to jump in on this. Like, there's a couple things that happened late for Georgia that I really liked. The protection was great down the stretch. Really, really great. Like, there was a stretch in the third quarter where the O-line struggled, and obviously the passing game struggles. Like, you have to, right? But I love the way they protected late. And Branch, bro, he's turning into a guy now. Like,
that's the story.
Because if you watch this game, Branch made the plays late in the game, the big third down on the last drive that they needed to make. But this whole offense is around Zach Branch. That's what I'm going to call him, okay? Zach Branch. Like, they went and got him in the portal, and they identified him as a guy they wanted. And he's a kick returner. He's a punt returner. But everything about this, the pass to Noah Thomas was a pump fake to Branch. Like, it was a pump fake that set up a wide open touchdown. Like, everything about this offense is running the football, throwing the screens to Branch. Now he's able to work the middle of the field, and you're seeing him kind of isolate and run routes. You saw a back shoulder last game against Ole Miss when you really, really needed it too. Like, Branch is turning into an absolute stud. And with Kobe Young out, like, they needed it. And Gunnar Stockton looked to him often, and that dude made plays big time for this offense.
Colby Young's absence was definitely felt in the blocking for the screen game for Branch. Very much so. I think he's much better at that than Noah Thomas. But last 3 games for Zachariah, I think he actually said he prefers Zachariah. So
he does, but I'm not good with Zachariah. Like,
okay.
I don't know. That's a harder thing to say. I'm just going to go with Branch.
Okay.
Every time he touches it, though, you hold your breath. Like, because he's like a video game that kind of lags, and he'll kind of, he's like a really good point guard too. He'll kind of slow it down, and then and you're like, you suck. Like having to go against and tackle a guy like that. I apologize, but it's just really hard.
No, I agree. Last 3 games, though, 27 catches on 28 targets, 240 yards, 11 first downs by himself, over 80 receiving grade, 3-3 of contested catches, like the catch he made in the middle of the field where he got destroyed after that, held on.
Still caught it. Yep.
Like he is very much the key. Chauncey Bowens with the great run late. It's one of those things where what's always interesting in these games, and really all these games, is you come out early and you see certain usage of players. Like the opening drive for Georgia, very play action heavy. Delp gets a pass on a crosser. Elias Williams, the freshman tight end, gets the pass on a leak play.
It was a leak play.
And then it's like two quarters go by. Where did the tight ends go? Where'd they go? It's just always fascinating to watch that. But once Bolden goes out, you're already down one starting safety.
Yeah. It
was one of the things where even early in that game with Bolden in the game, it was one of those things where if I was a Georgia coach, I'd be like, okay, when they ran the ball, just wave over there, thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Because I think they could have thrown it all day if they wanted to at certain points in that game, but they didn't. And Georgia eventually made the play. And then we had all sorts of reviews. We had a penalty for excessively clapping, which was
there was 4 really weird calls. Like the clapping thing, I know there's an emphasis on this now, like with the claps that are meant to draw people off sides, which to me is really weird because why am I allowed to audibly go hut 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 hut, but and try to draw you off sides, but I can't physically clap several times?
Yeah.
That's stupid to me. Like I'm a defensive guy, but that rule sounds dumb. Yeah. Just straight stupid.
Well, I mean,
because now you have to ref it, and so now you have to ref intent. Like it doesn't make sense to do that. Like let's cut that crap out. Like
I don't want to hear that penalty. Like when you're under center and you're the QB and you like you'd see QBs bob their head big time to simulate snap. I call that flag.
Yes.
You know, the whole clap motion, that was one that, yeah.
But how about the other reviews? Let's talk about them because there were some big ones.
Catch, no catch.
Like the Gunnar Stockton throw, I thought it was an incomplete pass. That was reviewed right before the half. Now remember, Georgia got a field goal off of that. Yes. So that was it ended up being 10-10, and obviously that made a big difference in the ball game. But like I thought Gunnar's hand had the football and he started to move forward and then he lost it. Did you think the same thing?
Yeah, I thought that was an incomplete pass.
Okay. Now the Lagway reach out, no part of the body was on the ground, which was crazy. And he reaches out. I thought upheld was okay by me because it looked like he was almost fumbling the football. Like
he was losing it, but his like hand laid on top of it. So I could see them just saying that. Yeah, okay. I was fine with that one too. So, and again, so what the default is always go to the upheld, which means, call on the field remains. And then the bomb deep. I thought watching that, the first 2 or 3 replays, I'm like, that's a catch. And this is a 4-point game at this. No, that was a game. Yeah. It was
4-point game. Lagway throws a ball. Listen, the guy was wide open. He's got to make a better throw. Like it's a miscommunication by Georgia.
He tried to throw it on the run.
He throws it deep. The ball comes to him, and the guy's arms are underneath it. It looked like he caught it. There was one replay after like the 3rd or 4th replay, man, they showed it from the back. And I was like, okay, that's the one for me. Like that was the one where I said, when it showed me that angle, I was like, okay, I would leave it as what it was on the field. Like I would have left that one alone, whatever it was.
Yes.
I think it hit the turf. I thought it hit the turf, but
yes.
So you were same opinion?
Especially when it's the replay that you're talking about from behind. That was the one where they showed it and you could see sort of from looking under his arms right there. It did look like it hit the ground, but it's still like that game. There's always wackiness.
Always.
There's beyond wackiness in that game always. And then Gunnar does a lot of wackiness. I was going to pick him by 7 on the website. And then at the last minute, I changed it to 9. I was like 20. I forget how I changed it. I even changed it from what we did on Wednesday. And yeah, he says, all right, we're just going to end the game right here.
Okay. So everybody out there, I'm curious. Y'all can have a add in the chat. And Adam Rooks, the Branch comparison to LaShawn McCoy is a really good one. The way he cuts, it's pretty violent, pretty good. Kudos to you. I'll say this: if I'm up by 4, and I run the football, and I'm inside the 5-yard line, whatever, I'm scoring. Because 2 possessions with under 30 seconds, whatever, the game's over. I'm scoring. So. And you say, well, nothing bad can happen if you take a knee. I can fumble it. And I know it's a 1 in a million, but there's a chance that I could. Like, I want to score there. I want to go up 2. Now, Kirby obviously addressed that with the Auburn game. Remember? He said he would prefer
they were
not.
Up 3.
He would, yeah, correct. And he scored. And maybe that's absolutely why. Because you see Oscar Delp take a knee before Gunnar Stockton does. So this was addressed. But I'm just saying, I don't mind scoring there because the game's over. Now it's impossible for them to come back. 1 bad bounce, I don't love it. I wouldn't love it, but I just.
Did you like Florida's coach go for it call? I think it was like 3:30 left. It was on whatever. It was right before that. Did you like his go for it call there? Because they had like 2 or 3 timeouts versus punting. What did you think of that one?
Yes. Yeah, I think you got to go for it. Like, I think you can't play. If it was 4th and 10, it's a different conversation too. When it's 4th and short, it's 4th and 1, right? Like that was you talk about the ball, right?
You had talked about creativity in the blitz. That was the most creative blitz they had all game long. They
stemmed to it and took some gaps. Like it was really, really good, man. Like I thought the Jaden Ball 4th down stop obviously was one of the bigger plays in the game because then they go down the field and take the lead. But it was the right decision by Florida. You're going for the win. I'm not kicking a long field goal. And Ball doesn't get stopped very often, man. That dude's an animal. Like that dude's a hammer. So, and Lagway had carried the ball a bunch on short yardage situations, and it had been unsuccessful on 3rd down some. Yeah. So they gave it to their horse, who they should have gave it to, but they had nobody blocked anybody up front. Like nobody. So nobody got any kind of movement on the offensive line for Florida.
That was probably the biggest difference watching the game from the Florida perspective was they tried to involve Lagway in the run game a little more than they normally do with him. And I think you had mentioned it a little bit earlier. They simplified a lot of things. And there was this time frame where it was just, all right, outside zone, bootleg, and like just 4 or 5 straight plays where it was just alternating the same play. So they tried to just stick with what they do.
Well, and 1st down, they did a good job of mixing it up enough. But I think from what I've seen from Lagway, Brent, I think that's the way he has to play. I think it's him. Like I think they're trying to protect him because when you do too much, he's not as good. Like he just needs to be in his own little space, and that's obviously that's on him.
He had some misses in that game. He had some open misses.
He's got to grow. He's got to continue to get better. But I think they're doing what they can. But the interesting convo. Last thing on Georgia, and we'll move on is the Bowens discussion. Does he need to get more touches, throughout the game? Because they do a good job of kind of mixing it in. Obviously, 2-0's back a little bit healthy, and that sucker can roll and fly. So I think you want to give him some touches too. I just think 33 is the best. I think he's by far the best. And I would give him 65%. He's getting double-digit carries. He had 9 carries. I'm getting him to 15 a game, probably. Like, I got to get him to at least 12.
It was a couple weeks back. I want to say, was it maybe at Auburn? That was the first game that he didn't really play a lot, and it was a injury they had talked about. He had something dinged up. Well, then you had time, and it's still just kind of been a rotation, and you've seen Frazier mainly over the last few games. To me, he's clearly the better of the two and should clearly get the majority of the carries. But, if you said that to Kirby, you know what Kirby would say. Earning it in practice. Who's earning it in practice? Who's practicing the best? Who's doing the things that's being asked of them in practice? And that's
whatever.
Going to be his answer.
It's also really nice to have several. So it's fun to have a stable full that you can get and they can run angry. And we don't even see McCray that much.